political motive or it's some kind of a vendetta. You referred to yourself as proud of your legacy in SAPS, but respectfully, you were dismissed for misconduct by the president. So I want to ask with my first question, how do you reconcile that pride with being fired for maladministration?
But Honorable Cameron, we are not finishing the story. That I was fired by the president and reinstated by the court of law.
You are not going to believe this. Two powerful ministers from the same ruling party are in an all-out public war. One minister creates an elite task force to hunt down political assassins. Then his successor comes in and shuts it down. This isn't some boring political argument. This is a crazy public fight that threatens to expose a massive, dangerous secret within the African National Congress. Former Police Minister Bheki Cele just testified in Parliament, and what he said set off a giant political explosion. His testimony paints a picture of backstabbing, shady motives, and a battle for control at the very top of the South African government. The question isn't if the party is divided anymore, but how deep the rot goes, and if the party can even survive this. At the center of everything is one insane decision: the order to shut down the Political Killings Task Team. A special unit created to stop the assassinations plaguing KwaZulu-Natal's political world was completely dismantled on New Year's Eve, a move that the former minister, Bheki Cele, said left him taken aback. His successor, Senzo Mchunu, gave the order, saying it was for legal reasons and to save money. But Cele's testimony completely destroys this, suggesting something way more sinister is going on. He didn't just say "I disagree." He basically accused the new guy of a huge abuse of power. He asked Parliament, "Why do you then stop, when the mission has not been accomplished?" That single question changes everything, and it points to a power struggle that could send shockwaves across the entire country. When Bheki Cele walked into Parliament's ad hoc committee, the tension was absolutely insane. The committee was literally created to investigate wild allegations of political meddling and corruption in the South African Police Service, SAPS. Cele, who was the police minister until June 2024, was supposed to just answer a few questions. Instead, he dropped a bombshell that completely contradicted his successor, Senzo Mchunu. Mchunu had told everyone he shut down the Political Killings Task Team, or PKTT, to save money and reorganize things. He swore the decision was legal, and even claimed he told President Cyril Ramaphosa, who agreed with him. But Cele revealed a totally different story. He said the PKTT was created by a special interministerial committee, IMC, that President Ramaphosa himself announced in 2018. According to Cele, a minister can't just order the national commissioner to do something like that, and only the president or the IMC could shut the team down. He said it flat out: ministers don't instruct national commissioners. This wasn't just a small disagreement. Cele was accusing Mchunu of a massive power grab. He told Parliament that Mchunu was wrong to claim the IMC that oversaw the team didn't exist anymore. In fact, Cele said the IMC had a meeting and decided the team should not be dissolved. But just a few months later, on December 31, 2024, Mchunu issued the order to shut it down while the National Commissioner was on vacation. Cele said he was personally taken aback when he saw the letter. But it gets even crazier. Cele suggested Mchunu might have been influenced by someone on the outside when he made the decision. This theory got way more intense when Cele made another shocking allegation that a controversial businessman named Vusimuzi Kat Matlala told him he had met with Mchunu, and that Mchunu was looking for money for a future presidential campaign. Mchunu has completely denied ever meeting Matlala. All of a sudden, shutting down a team that hunts assassins doesn't look like a simple budget cut. It starts to look political. It starts to look personal. To understand why this is so crazy, you need to know what this task force actually does. This wasn't just some random police unit. It was an elite team created to stop a total crisis. Back in 2018, KwaZulu-Natal was the epicenter of political assassinations. Before elections, it was literally a killing season. Councillors, candidates, and activists were being hunted down and murdered all the time. The violence was so bad it threatened to destabilize the entire region. In response, President Ramaphosa announced the Interministerial Committee, which created the Political Killings Task Team. Their mission was simple and urgent: find these killers and the powerful people who hire them, and bring them to justice. The team was packed with expert detectives and given huge resources because the threat was massive. As Cele said, the team was good for the country and was crushing it, making hundreds of arrests and winning major court cases. The very fact that PKTT existed was the government admitting that political violence was out of control and needed a special, high-powered solution. The team operated in a dark world where politics, crime, and business all mixed together. This made their work incredibly dangerous and politically sensitive. There are even allegations the team was shut down because it was getting too close to exposing a crime syndicate that included politicians and police officers. A key allegation linking Cele to payments was later retracted by the KZN police commissioner who made it. When you shut down a team like that, you're not just moving money around. You are literally calling off the hunt. Cele's point was simple: counselors are still under guard. Work has been done, but the mission is not complete. Don't tell me there is stability when people are still dying. Section 3: Efficiency or a cover-up? The two sides of the story. So Mchunu's side of the story sounds normal. He told Parliament that special task teams are always temporary. He talked about budget problems, saying the PKTT was using up a ton of money while only working in one province. He claimed a new police structure would handle these kinds of crimes all over the country. Mchunu promised he was just trying to save money for lawful reasons and that the president had given him the green light after he was briefed. But Cele's testimony paints a much darker picture. According to Cele, the decision was just plain wrong and ignored the IMC. Even worse, accusations have surfaced that Mchunu was pushed to shut down the team to stop investigations into powerful criminals. This makes Mchunu's actions look completely different. Was it really about saving money, or was it about stopping an investigation that was getting too close to powerful people? And get this, the timing is so sketchy. Mchunu signed the shutdown letter on December 31st, while the National Police Commissioner, Fanny Masemola, was on leave. Why the insane rush on New Year's Eve? A time when the government is basically shut down. People are now wondering if the move was deliberately pushed through to avoid any questions. On top of that, Mchunu's excuses are being torn apart. He's been slammed for acting like the problem isn't a big deal, with some politicians calling him out for saying the team wasn't needed because political killings were mostly a pre-1994 problem. This makes you wonder if he even understands the crisis the team was created to solve. And this is where a boring paperwork issue explodes into a massive conspiracy. Cele's claims about a meeting for campaign funds adds a whole new level of drama. If there's even a tiny chance that a minister's decisions could be helping people he owes favors to, it destroys all public trust. Mchunu denies all of it, but this public war between him and Cele has shown everyone a level of chaos that the ANC can't hide anymore. The question is no longer about budgets, it's about whether the government is being controlled for personal and political gain. This is a huge fight happening right now, exposing giant cracks in the ruling party. It's been reported that both Bheki Cele and Senzo Mchunu are expected to appear before the ANC's Integrity Commission to deal with these explosive claims. This story is blowing up, with new secrets coming out of the parliamentary inquiry. What do you think is really going on here? Is this a simple budget cut, or a giant cover-up? Let us know what you think in the comments below. What we're seeing right now is not just a political show. This is a real, insane look into the secret battles being fought inside the ruling party. For a former and a current police minister to publicly contradict each other on something as serious as political assassinations is absolutely unheard of. Bheki Cele's testimony didn't just question one decision, it basically put his own party on trial for the whole world to see. He has painted a picture of a government fighting itself, where rules are allegedly ignored and motives are incredibly suspicious. The accusations of political interference, secret meetings, and shutting down a critical investigation aren't just scandals. They are signs of a deep rot that many people are afraid has taken over. President Ramaphosa has said he's waiting for the investigation to finish, but the public's trust is already shattered. This isn't just about Bheki Cele versus Senzo Mchunu. This is about the future of South Africa's entire justice system and whether there's any real will to fight corruption. This parliamentary inquiry is dragging everything out of the shadows, and the ANC might not survive what comes out. This conflict could be the tremor before a much bigger earthquake, one that could completely fracture the party that has ruled South Africa for 3 decades. The mission to find the truth is nowhere near finished.